so for question 1 here, the first thing that I did was to find the total ratio, which is 6. And the question itself is looking for total. Hence, for our total here, and we was given the Ali's received 2,345. So total times 5 over 6 equals to 2,345 divided, then you will get the total as 2,814. So uses 11% to buy television. So 2,345 times 11%, it is 257.95. As for question 3, a different television costs 330. Ben buy one in a sale which the cost reduced by 15%. Okay, so 330 times 85% equals to 280.5. But for question 2 from part C, the 330 is 12% less than the cost last year. So original times 88% equals to 330. So the original price is actually higher, equals to 375. So for the next question, the keyword here is compound interest, and they are looking for the total amount. Okay, so all you need to do is to take 1,500 times 102.3% to the power of 3. Then you will get your final results as 1,605.9. But for question E, okay, Ali also buy a computer for 325 and later sell it for 250. So the percentage of loss, which is 250 minus 325, divide by 325 times 100%. So the negative results that you have gotten here is actually representing the loss. So when you write it down into your answer column, your negative shouldn't be included. So your final answer, 23.08%. Question 2, okay, pretty straightforward. Equidistance from Q and from R. Okay, so I adjusted my compass to be more than half of QR's length. Okay, I draw two curves, both on each of the R and Q point. Okay, then I construct the equidistance line first. Okay, then second part they are asking for PS and from PQ. Okay, so the repeating angle here is P, which means that they wanted you to separate SPQ into two equal angles. Okay, so using the compass, I drew a same distance line on PS and PQ. Then I extend the compass from the intersecting line. Okay, then I construct another line which basically split the angle QPS into two equivalent parts. Okay, so the third section here is 60 km from R. So 1 cm is actually 10 kilometers. So I calculated, okay, adjust my compass to 6 cm. So based on this information of the last one, you can now shade off the upper section closer to PQ and more than 60 as the answer. Okay, and they wanted you to measure the bearing of S from P. Okay, So the bearing of S from P is actually 180 plus 38 degree, which is 218. Section B, okay, so the keyword here is circular and the radius has already been given. So all you need to do is to take pi times 45 square, then you get 2025 pi. So this 2025 pi, after correcting it to three significant figures, it is 6360. However, for section 2, okay, so they mentioned that with 210 degree, okay, they are putting up a fence around the circle. So 210 divided by 360 times 2 times pi times the 45 meter radius. So your final results 105 over 2 pi. So after the correction to three significant figures, you will get 165 as the final results. For question 6, he wants to buy at least 5 goats. This will be x more than equals to 5. He wants to buy at least 11 sheep. So this one will be y more than equals to 11. Okay, and for part 3, he wanted to buy at least 20 animals. So this one will be x plus y more than equals to 20. As for part B, so they are using the cost to create another inequalities. So 4x plus 8y less than equals to 160. Divide both sides by 4 to meet the requirements set by the question and change the equation into x plus 2y less than equals to 40. So on the next page, question C, okay, I constructed the inequality lines. Okay, key things to take note is that since all of them are either more than equals to and less than equals to, okay, the line will be in solid form. Okay, as you can see on all the inequalities, I actually label an arrow to indicate which direction they are looking for. Okay, then only I can correctly identify which part to shade on and which part not to shade. Okay, so the part that you're not shading here is actually the quadrilateral at the center, okay, with all 4 points, okay, that I list down the coordinates there. Okay, so 2 of it is pretty tricky. You are required to set out random points for the equation with x plus y equals to 20. So I set when x equals to 5, my y will be 15, and when my x is 10, my y will be 10. That's how I construct the line over there. I repeat for the same thing on x plus 2y equals to 40, and I get my y equals to 20 minus x over 2. So when x equals to 10, my y is 15, and when my x is 20, my y will be 10. So your final results here, work out the maximum numbers of animals that Luke can buy will be 18 goats and 11 sheep, which is 29 animals in total. Question 4 on the other hand, the first part they are looking for volume of the prism. Okay, all you need to do is to calculate the area of the triangle side first, okay, by taking 1 over 2 times 7 times 22, then multiply it by its width, which is 40 cm. So the final answer will actually be 3080 cm cubed. Whereby for part B, calculate the length of fj. Okay, so for you to find the value of fj, first thing first, you need the diagonal value of the base dhgj. Okay, so to find value of ej, I uses the Pythagoras theorem, combine the information of 22 cm and 40 cm. Your final value of ej is actually 2 square root 521, okay, which is equivalent to 45.7 cm, and uses the 45.7 cm with the 7 cm height. You can now calculate fj value as 46.2. So for part C is actually a continuation. Using the same information of FEJ, you can now have the FE as opposite of the angle and 45.7 as the adjacent. So tangent inverse 7 over 45.7, it is 8.71. For question D, okay, so the original prism is then melted down. So you're required to take the original volume, which is 3080, divide by 4 over 3 times pi times 1.5 cube. Okay, you will get 217.8654332. However, you are required to round it down because there's no 0.8 prism here. Okay, so your final value will be 217. Question E, slightly tricky. So key things to take note is you're required to find the rounding value first. They only gave you a key information, which is 1 decimal place. So 1 decimal place is actually 0.1, and 0.1 divided by 2 is actually plus minus 0.05. So you take 1 over 2 times the upper bound of the height and the upper bound of the base, then you get your final results as 25.13875, and correct it into 4 significant figures. Then we will be looking at the value behind number 3, which is 8. Since it is more than 5, so you're required to round it up as 25.14. Question 10, okay, the part A is, as usual, the 3 mark section. All you need to do is to substitute negative 0.2, 0.5 and 1 into the x position given by the formula. Then you shouldn't be having any issue to identify the value as negative 5.04, 1.75 and 0 respectively. Okay, so you construct the curve down over there, it should look something like this. So uses your graph to solve when fx equals to negative 3. So when it is negative 3, there's actually 3 intersection. Okay, the value is negative 1.5, negative 0.35 and 1.9 based on my graph. So your answer may be slightly different from mine. However, there's nothing to worry about, as from the marking scheme itself, there's an acceptable range for the answer to be written down. Okay, as long as your answer fall between the range, you shouldn't have any issue to get the marks. Whereby for question D, by drawing a suitable line on your graph, solve the equation 2x minus 2. So I randomly set up the point for x, okay, to identify the coordinates. so that I can construct the line over there. And the answer for this is actually the intersection point between the original graph and the new line here is negative 2.6, negative 0.4, and 1 respectively. Same rule was applied here. There's a range for the acceptable answer. Whereby for part E, draw a tangent where x equals to negative 2. So to draw the tangent line, all you need to take note is when you construct the line, there will be both sides at the curve. All you need to do is to make sure that both sides has similar distance. Okay, the line to the curve itself has similar distance. So over here, we are using the negative 2, negative 4.5 coordinates with another one, which is the one that I identified, is 0, 2. Okay, so I set them as x1, y1 and x2, y2, run the gradient formula, then you will get 3.25. Same thing, okay, there's acceptable range for this answer, so no worries if yours is different from mine. Question 6, okay, this one is the probability question. Okay, first part, tree diagram, pretty straightforward. Okay, all you need to do is just to fill up the blank with whatever that was given. As for part B, find the probability that two cards are different color. Okay, so you have two conditions here, which is the first card is red and the second card is blue, followed by the condition where the first card is blue followed by red. So combining these two information, multiply and add them both up, you will get 7/15 as your final answer. Question 7 itself is actually the topic series in matrix. However, this was removed from your syllabus already. So if you are not sure how to do it, no worries. Okay, this one won't appear in your exam. Whereby for question 8a, finding the angle ACD. Okay, this one we are using angle from the same segment. So ABD equals to ACD equals to 27 degree. Whereby for angle AOD, so this one is actually using angle from the center, it's actually twice the value of angle at the circumference. So all you need to do is to take 27 multiplied by 2, then you will get 54 degree. Whereby for you to identify AED, okay, all you need to do is take 360 minus the 54 to identify the major sector of AOD first. And AED is actually the half of AOD. Using the same concept, angle from the center is twice the value of angle at the circumference. So your final answer, 153. So for part B of question 8, okay, to calculate Kn, we will be using the cosine rule. Okay, as the details has been shown over there, you will get your final answer as 59.6 after the calculation. Okay, so for part 2 of this question, identifying the angle, the area of triangle LMN. Okay, this one we are using half AB sine C. Okay, A here is the LN and B is LM over there. So your angle is 67. You run your calculation, you will get LM as 22 centimeters. On question 3, keyword here is mathematically similar. Okay, LMN has an area of 324. Okay, whereby for the XYZ the area is unknown. As for Ln, it is 32 and XZ is 16. So simply run the comparison and do take note that for area we are required to square root it. Okay, so if you are unfamiliar with this particular concept, feel free to browse through my video library. There's one specific video that's explaining about this mathematically similar topic. Okay, it will be really helpful for you to have a better understanding on this particular question. So run your calculation, you get your final results as 81. So do remember for this question itself, I actually square it because in the equation that I've written down, there's a square root area of xyz. However, the square root is to be eliminated. Question 9. Okay, find the median. Okay, as the cumulative frequency graph has been given and drawn for you, all you need to do is to take the total of 80 people times 50%, then you will get 40th. So from cumulative 40th, you draw it down, it is actually 14. And for you to identify the lower quartile, okay, simply takes 80 times 25%, you will get 20th. So 20th, you trace it back, the value will be 8. Whereby for the interquartile range, just take 80 times 75%, you will get 60 as the result. So 60, you drew it down, is actually 30. So interquartile range representing 75% minus the 25%. So 30 minus 8, you will get 22. Whereby for section B, okay, 80 minus 69, okay, from more than 35, so 35 I drew it up, it is actually 69 of them. So you're required to take note that they wanted the numbers that's more than 35. So 80 minus 69 is actually 11. So over the total students, it will be 11 over 80. Question C is to identify the frequency value of the different interval. So from 30 to 40, all you need to do is to take 76 minus 60, it is 16. Whereby for 40 to 50, you take 80 minus 76, it will be 4. Okay, as for D, find the mid interval value and find the mean. So you find the midpoint first by taking 10 plus 0 divided by 2. So you get 5, 12.5, 22.5, 35 and 45. Multiply with its respective frequency and divide by the total, which is 80 here. You will get your final results as 18.0625 minutes. So for part E, to draw the frequency density diagram, you are required to check whether there is scale factor involvement or not. Okay, by taking the part that was drawn for you, okay, that will be 30 divided by 10, you will get 3. So based on that, you already know that there's no scale factor involvement. Then you can do the rest by taking 12 divided by 5, 18 divided by 15, 16 divided by 10, and 4 divided by 10. So question 10, part A, number 1, number 2, and number 3, the full details working has been attached. So I won't be doing any explanation for this part because it is pretty straightforward. So let's move on to section B. Okay, so when n equals to 1, your result is 1. So I sub in 1 into all n's position. I will get a plus b plus 1 over 6 equals to 1. So by changing their denominator into same, I multiply everything by 6. Okay, then I get 6a plus 6b minus 1 equals to 6. Do the rearrangement, then you will get your a as 5 minus 6b over 6 as your equation 1. Whereby for your next one, I uses n equals to 2, your result is 5. Substitute n by 2, n equals to 5. Get rid of the denominator, I get the equation as 24a plus 12b plus 1 equals to 15. So I substitute 1 into 2 and run a manual calculation. My b will actually be 1 over 2. And when b equals to 1 over 2, substitute it back into 1. My a will be 1 over 3. So feel free to pause the video, check the workings, and get this question sorted out. So thank you for watching. I hope you find this helpful. Okay, if you have friends that are struggling, feel free to share this video to them. Okay, and I wish you all the best for your upcoming examination. Thank you.